Hi guys, this is Vitaly with AFT Dispatch and A2C Logistics, and in today's video, I'd like to summarize President Biden's plan to fix America's roads and crumbling bridges. Now, before we get started, I'd like to ask you to please like the video, be sure you subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss a single release of our videos, where every Friday we're talking about something that could benefit you in your trucking businesses, in your trucking careers, as well as cover the loads we've successfully booked for our customers, consisting of leased on owner operators and carriers operating under their own MC authorities, running under our truck dispatch services. As always, guys, big thank you for all the likes you guys provided in all the previous videos. Thank you so much, and please do keep them coming. Let's talk about it. Like I said, I want to summarize President Biden's plan to fix Americans' infrastructure. I mean, obviously, our roads are in poor shape, our bridges are crumbling, and lots of problems are on the horizon if nothing changes quickly. And so the trucking industry is seeking a way to repair all these problems. Unfortunately, recently, communication completely collapsed between President Biden and some of the Republican senators that were speaking and trying to come to a consensus. And the problem was that they couldn't even figure out how to define infrastructure, what it really means, and also, of course, how much to spend on these repairs that are desperately needed. Now, Biden did come in with Invest in America Act, as well as Biden's $2.3 trillion American Jobs Act, which includes different aspects of infrastructure repair. And, they talked about all of this, but unfortunately, as I mentioned, they could not come to a consensus. Now, in addition to this, the FMCSA also wants to be able to view your ELD data. And if some of these acts do go through and become law, that may actually become plausible and a possibility for the FMCSA to have direct access to your ELD data. Now, one of the things that was inserted into this act was the automatic emergency braking. This was included in the Invest in America Act, and this is something that we discussed in a previous video. I'll leave a little card up here. Definitely take a look at that video because we discussed that in a bit more detail. Now, these mandates are also looking at what are they called? Side underride guards, which a lot of European trucks have that's on their trailers, and they would like to have these installed on all trailers, but because there are lots of trailers out there, the cost would be absolutely humongous. This is something that would have to be discussed a bit further. Now, those of you who've been following our channel for some time might remember watching a video that we talked about where there was a proposal to increase truck insurance to $4.9 million. It was actually Jesus Chuy Garcia, a Democratic representative of Illinois. And this time he came around and he said, listen, let's get it up to $2 million. Guys, watch that video. Like I said, I'll leave the card up in a corner. Definitely want to watch that video because it was a very popular video. It's a very serious issue, and I think it's something that could be absolutely detrimental to every trucker in America. And it doesn't matter if this will affect everyone, company drivers, carriers, leased on owner ops, doesn't matter. So right now they're talking about a $2 million policy. Now, all of these things are normally paid for by the Highway Trust Fund that has been basically slowly running out of money, and they're actually spending more than is being received. Now, the Highway Trust Fund is paid for by you and I. Whether you drive a truck or not, you're paying for it because 18.4 cents per gallon of fuel pumped, we're talking gasoline for regular cars, goes to the Highway Trust Fund. When it comes to semis or any sort of diesel operated truck, 24.4 cents per gallon go to the Highway Trust Fund. And so what's happening is that this is not working out, even though it's a lot of money, and some would call it a highway robbery. So what they're talking about is not only taxing the electric vehicles out there, but also they're looking at the vehicle miles traveled act, which or some call it the VMT. We're basically taxing private vehicles, and because there are millions of vehicles out in the United States, they're talking about this becoming 300 times higher than a fuel tax that I just talked about. So this could be just absolutely a mind-boggling dollar amount, which would be above and beyond anything that was ever collected from the taxpayer, the American taxpayer. Now, finally, one of the other major pieces, something that we also reported, I'll also leave a card here in the corner, definitely take a look at this video. It's the Drive Safe Act, which basically allows CDL truck drivers under the age of 21 to be able to cross state lines. Now, so far, under 21 guys have been able to work intrastate, so they cannot cross state lines. They work in their own home states, but they're talking about being able to allow them to do this and to expand the pilot program that we talk about in this video, that in the corner, to allow these guys to actually go out there, and this is done in the hopes of being able to really help with truck driver shortage. Again, if you don't know about the truck driver shortage, I'll leave a card up there. We have a very popular video that goes into great depth there as well. And guys, I mean, the truth is, I'd love to hear your opinions on this, because this is just a summary of the acts and of the conversations and what has been covered in the media, but it should give you a pretty good idea of what's been going on as far as taking care of American crumbling infrastructure. Because honestly, you've seen the roads out there, you've seen the bridges, you've seen what's been going on in the news with some of the states, some of the bridges that have collapsed and have to shut down completely, and more of that is on the way unless something major changes, and this is what this video is about. So hopefully you enjoyed the video. Please hit the like button if you have, if it's been helpful to you. Leave your comments in the comment section below. I'm going to switch over to camera. We're going to look over the loads we booked for our customers, and I'll see you guys in just a moment. Welcome back, guys. Let's take a look at some of these loads. Crumbling infrastructure or not, America keeps going because of truck drivers like you, delivering freight every day across the country. Many of you making great money as long as you're working with dispatchers like ours. Let me show you. We're going to start off with a reefer coming out of Apopka, Florida. Go to Paw, Michigan. This is a 32,000 pound load of food product running at 32 degrees on a reefer. 1,180 miles booked at $4,000. Got them $339 per mile. Great rate for lots and lots of miles. Then Allegan, Michigan, going to York, Pennsylvania. This is a 35,000 pound load of drugs and medicines running at 72 degrees on a reefer. 619 miles booked at $3,700. Got them $598 per mile. Then Williamsburg, Pennsylvania to Urbandale, Iowa. 25,000 pound load of envelopes. This is a dry load. The reefer stayed off on this one. 884 miles booked at $2,100. That got them $238 per mile. They finished off with Sioux City, Iowa, going to Milton, Pennsylvania. This is a 40,000 pound load of refrigerated foods. 1,117 miles booked at $4,500. Got them $403 per mile. Lots of miles, lots of dollars. This driver ended up absolutely killing it. Grossed $14,300 in their reefer. Ended up running 3,800 loaded miles with an average of 376 per loaded mile. Absolutely obliterated the week. Next, we have a dry van coming out of Clover, South Carolina, going to Rockford, Tennessee. 20,000 pound load of palletized cotton. 226 miles booked at $1,100, got them $487 a mile. Then Venori, Tennessee to Bluffton, Indiana. This is a 35,000 pound load of FAK. 453 miles booked at $1,850, got them $408 per mile. Then Decatur, Indiana, going to Middleton, Delaware. 10,000 pound load of egg cartons. 621 miles booked at $2,150, got them $346 per mile. Then Newark, Delaware, going to Decatur, Alabama. That's 38,000 pound load of 3M office supplies. 817 miles booked at $2,050, got them $251 per mile. They finished off with Florence, Alabama, going to Sunnyvale, Texas. 43,000 pound load of palletized tile, 595 miles booked at $1,850, got them $311 per mile. This was a great week for this driver, running Thursday to Thursday, ended up grossing $9,000 in their dry van, running $332 per loaded mile on their 2,712 loaded miles, running the Midwest, Northeast, and ending up in a very good area near Sunnyvale, which is basically near Houston, Texas. An excellent rate per mile of $332, 2,712 miles and $9,000. Definitely no complaints for this dry van. Next, we have ourselves a reefer coming out of Houston, Texas, going to Reserve, Louisiana. 42.5 on the way, load of packaged lubricants. This was a dry load. 318 miles booked at $1,500, got them $472 per mile. Then Geismar, Louisiana to Eugene, Oregon. This was a 16,000 pound load of polyurethane and totes. Tanker endorsement required, running 70 degrees on a reefer. 2,483 miles booked at $7,000, guys. That's $282 per mile. Lots of miles, lots of money. Excellent rate. Next, they're going to finish off with a one-pick four dropper coming out of Mount Angel, Oregon, going to Utah with stops in Salt Lake City, Riverton, Saratoga Springs, and Heber City with a final. Basically everything right there in Salt Lake City metro area. This is a 42,000 pound load of nursery stock, right around 42K on a weight. Very fast receivers, by the way. 880 miles booked at $3,500, got them $398 per mile. And this driver did an excellent job running Wednesday to Wednesday. Ended up grossing $12,000 on the dot with a 326 average loaded mile on their 3,681 loaded miles. And absolutely excellent rate for this reefer. Next, we have another reefer coming out of Stanston, Virginia, going to Allentown, Pennsylvania. 40,000 pound load of pet food. It was a straight through delivery, 296 miles, booked at $2,000, got him $676 per mile. Then Vineland, New Jersey, going to Assonet, Massachusetts, 38,000 pound load of oranges, 327 miles, booked at $1,700, got him $520 per mile. Then Hollis Center, Maine to Jessup, Maryland. This is a full truckload of water, 44 on the weight. 510 miles, booked at $1,600, got him $314 a mile. Then Stanston, Virginia to Mount Sterling, Illinois, 15,000 pound load of frozen desserts, running at -10 on a reefer. 918 miles, booked at $2,500, got him $272 per mile. And they finished off with Centralia, Missouri, going to Orlando, Florida. This is a 35,000 pound load of electronic parts. This is a dry load, running 1,124 miles, booked at $4,000, got him $356 a mile on lots of miles. This driver ran a Friday to Friday, grossed $11,800 in gross, ran 3,175 loaded miles at an average of 372 average per loaded mile. A very hard-working gentleman, certainly a newcomer, but with some trust issues with the dispatcher. I believe that a few more weeks like this and all those trust issues will be obliterated. It's definitely a great job for this driver. Next, we have ourselves a dry van coming out of Picayune, Mississippi, going to Rockville, Maryland. This is a heavier load, 45.3 on a weight, load of cement, 1,039 miles, booked at $4,000, got him $385 a mile. Then Baltimore, Maryland to New Carlisle, Indiana. This is a 43,000 pound load of aluminum, and the 625 miles, booked at $1,600, got him $256 a mile. And they finished off with a 1-pick 4 dropper coming out of Romeoville, Illinois, with drops in Jackson, Mississippi, New Orleans, Louisiana, Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and Lafayette, Louisiana. Now, this was a 28,000 pound load of mail, 1,047 miles, booked at $3,300, which got him $315 on this dry load. This driver ran Friday to Friday, grossed $8,900, ran 2,711 loaded miles, and by the way, only had 201 deadhead miles, so very, very well done. $8,900 gross, got him $328 per loaded mile average. And he basically ran all across the country, didn't care where he was going or what he was carrying, as long as it paid well, and it paid off for him very, very well. We're going to finish off with our last one. This is a dry van coming out of Memphis, Tennessee, going to Wilmar, Minnesota. This was a non-hazardous material chemical load of chemicals at 30,000 pounds on the weight, 905 miles, booked at $3,200, got him $354 a mile. Then Shakopee, Minnesota, going to Flora, Indiana, another non-hazmat chemical load, 44K on the weight this time, tanker endorsement required, 562 miles, booked at $1,443, that got him $257 a mile. Then Alexandria, Indiana, going to Flowood, Mississippi, 43,000 pound load of dry food, 718 miles, booked at $2,350, got him $327 a mile. And it finished off with Monroe, Louisiana, going to Cherokee, Alabama. This is a 42,000 pound load of packaging materials, 354 miles, booked at $1,500, got him $424 per mile. And overall, ended up doing an excellent job, grossing $8,493, ran 2,539 miles loaded with a 335 loaded average, and did a great job. This guy is a very, very strong driver, never complains. Definitely takes all the loads we offer. He knows the dispatchers are working very, very hard to help him make the kind of money that you're seeing our drivers make. And you could be doing the same thing, guys. Great money. You're well taken care of. You could be, a carrier. You could have company drivers. You could be a leased on owner operator. We work with everyone. And if you're an owner operator, maybe you're not getting taken care of. Maybe, you're not seeing the rate confirmations. Maybe you're getting ripped off by, the charges that, that some of these companies out there charge. None of that has to happen. Same thing with carriers. You got the company drivers. Maybe you're the one who's driving. Whatever it may be, we'll work with you. But you have to reach out. Our number is 801-448-6363. Call or text. We'll send you more information. We'll get in touch with you. You can also get more information on our website at aftdispatch.com/go. There's also a chat box on our page. Just fill that in, ask you a few questions. We will get back with you. We'll send you some information over email. We'll also call you, answer any and all questions that you may have, and make sure that that you can get taken care of as well. Most importantly, guys, until next time, stay healthy, be wealthy. Take care.